Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear and see me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, I see. So yes, hi Sharon. How's your Wednesday?
I just finished my work and had dinner. Yes,
Oh,
before this class. Mm,
I see. So it sounds like it's just a usual working day for you, and you just had your dinner before we started our class.
yes.
But are you like very busy today at work?
Mm, Quite a normal day. Sometimes was busy, but sometimes was okay.
Oh, I see. So there are times you're busy, but most of the time it's not really that busy.
Mm, yes.
Oh, I see. But are there anything significant or special happened with you for this week?
Um, Most of them are routine things, so I can skate them by myself.
Oh, I see. So it seems like all the things that you've been doing for today are just routinary things. So some kind of like that.
Mm, yes.
I see. But how about on your weekend? Do you have any plans for your weekend already?
Weekend or
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. Do you have any plans for this weekend?
I will hang out with my friends at Saturday.
I see. So you're going to go out with your friends this Saturday.
Yes, I will meet my master's degrees classmates.
Oh, I see. So where are you planning to
Yes.
go?
Uh, I live in Kaohsiung. It was
Uh,
south of country in Taiwan, and I will go to Tainan, the other country behind Kaohsiung.
oh, I see. So it's just beside Kaohsiung. It will not really take you for quite not so long to go there.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So it seems like in that case, you're planning to spend some time with your friends this weekend. Are those your plans for the week?
Um, oh, read books such as English.
I see. So it sounds like in that case, if you are not out with your friends, you're sometimes
Mm,
at home reading some books like English books.
yes.
I see. So yeah, thank you for sharing those things with me, Sharon. And for today, let's move on with our session. And I do believe we are going to have our IELTS writing. So when it comes to IELTS writing, last time when we had our session, so we did the checking of your introduction as well as with your overview. So this time, let's talk about first your body paragraph. So allow me to share my screen first to begin with the session. And okay, can you see my screen already?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So let's begin with your, let's just say body paragraph one right here. So when it comes to your body one, actually just minor suggestions, especially with our sentence structure we have right here. First of all, when it comes to this is, let's just say okay, second sentence. Today, the marina remains in the same location, but the fishing boats area has been moved further to the north. So in this case here, yes, you were able to correctly use the time adverbial as well as with the present simple for current situation. So it's correct. Maybe in this case, it's just the structural we have right here or the lexical part. It's because of the phrase the fishing boats area. So this phrase is considered not a natural compound noun in English. It's because the word boats cannot naturally modify the word area in this form. So probably instead of stating the fishing boats area, you can also say the uh fishing or the area for fishing
Mm,
boats. So that could be for this case right there. So therefore, our phrase contains a noun modifier error in that part. And then another thing aside from that, so for the third sentence, okay, let me see. In your case, when it comes to this body one right here, actually, it's only on the lexical naturalness that I have right here, but most of the things that you have written, it's actually correct in this case. So yeah, that would be for your body one. Questions for the body one first?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on with the body two. So for the body two, actually still just a few suggestions that I have when it comes to our sentence structure. So first of all, when it comes to this, let's just say first sentence on the eastern side, several major changes can be seen. So in this case, yes, correct use of the passive voice. Maybe it's on the second sentence in 2000. There was a disused castle next to a public beach. While this area has been transformed, okay, into a hotel in the present day. So in this case, it's actually the tense consistency since you were able to use the time adverbial in 2000, which is good. In this case here, it's just this part. While this area has been transformed. So this one is actually a mix of tenses. We have here, let's just say, okay, there was, and then you have also has been transformed. So when contrasting two time points in map descriptions like past versus present, usually uses a past simple for the past tense and present simple for the current state, or you can have the past simple passive for completed change. So instead of stating, okay, let's say in this case, we can somehow state it into, okay, this area has been transformed. So instead of while this area, you can have this area is now a hotel, or this area was transformed was transformed into a hotel. And additionally, in the present day, it's slightly a bit wordy. So you can try to make use of the word today or present at some point. But still, present day, it's still accepted in this case. And then another thing here, okay, it's actually the last sentence. The dock for passenger ferries and lifeboats remain in the same place. So in this case, it's just actually the subject verb agreement we have right here. So the phrase, the dog, the word or the head noun here is actually dog that is considered singular. So modifiers for passenger ferries and lifeboats. So the verb must agree with the head noun of the subject, not the nouns inside the prepositional phrase. So in this case, you can say the dog, okay, remains, remains in the same place. So this would be for this case we have right here. So overall, when it comes to your body two, it's just on the subject verb agreement, the consistent tense usage in this case. So yeah, any questions for our body paragraph two first?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. So in this case, since we don't have questions, let's talk about the content of each paragraph right here. So when it comes to your introduction, the one we had last time, in this case, there's actually, or it's accurate paraphrasing of the task. So you successfully restated the prompt using different wording. And then there's also a clear identification of time comparison. So you've mentioned 2000 in the present day, which is essential for map comparisons, and then grammatically correct sentence as well. Maybe when it comes to this one, the sentence given here, the sentence structure is very similar to the original prompt. So usually in this case, you can include slightly more varied wording instead. And then maybe it could be clearer that the map in this case, show changes in the harbor layout. So probably we can state like the maps illustrate how Port Harbor has changed, let's just say between 2000 and the present day. So you can have that one. And then for the overview part, in this case, you correctly summarize the main trend of the development, like identification of major additions. So you mentioned right here, cafes, shops, hotel. And in this case, you focus on tourism development. So recognizing the shift toward visitor facilities is a strong analytical observation right here. And then your sentences follow a logical progression. So you started with the general change, the specific examples, and then the structural change right there. Maybe when it comes to this, it's just the redundancy, like the also and in addition, and then also with the inaccuracy. It's because you've mentioned right here the marina. The marina have been reorganized. So if we try to check the marina right here, marina is here. Okay. Okay. So in this case here, it's just actually the word choice. So instead of using the word reorganize, probably you can have like swap or interchange, something like that with the fishing boats for the word choice. And then another thing here, okay. So maybe, okay, so we can have that one. And then for our body three or body paragraph one, okay, so in this case, you do have a strong spatial organization, like describing the western side separately helps the reader visualize the map. And there's also a clear past present comparison. So you effectively compare 2000 versus today. And on your vocabulary, location vocabulary, it's correctly used. Same with you also have a logical progression of ideas. Maybe it's just on the um direction phrase we have right here. Given with the phrase, okay, let's say further to the north. Further to the north is acceptable but less natural. So instead of stating further to the north, you can just say state further north instead to make it more natural. And then maybe with the fishing boats. Okay, with the fishing boats idea right here. Okay, let's see fishing boats. And then in this case, okay, so yeah, that would be fine for that one. And then for the body too, in this case, you do have an effective topic sentence where the first part, several major changes can be seen. So it introduces the paragraph well. There's also a clear transformation description, like you correctly identify the change from castle to hotel. And then with the linking words, it's correctly used and good identification of commercial development. Maybe in the body two, it's just on the tense consistency that we have to be careful with, like the mix of past simple and present perfect in the same comparison. And then with the subject verb agreement and then the map description in this case right there. So overall, those are just the things I have noticed when it comes to your task one essay. So in this case, any questions first for the overall task one you have?
Mm, it's okay.
Okay, I see. Thank you. So, since we don't have any questions then, and we still have some time, let's move on with a task two. So, for this task two that we're going to have, okay, let me present to you. The question would be, okay, agree or disagree. So, we have here the statement. Okay, the working week should be shorter and workers should have a longer weekend. So, do you agree or disagree in this part? So, which stance do you have for this idea?
Mm, okay.
Okay, so that is what we are going to present in this case right here. So in your you have to give reasons why do you agree or why you disagree. So this is what we're going to do on the next All right, so same as usual, I am going to paste the question right here on the next tab, and then you may do the writing. And then whenever you are done, just tell me so that we can try to start checking your task too. But before anything else, questions first.
Mm, it's okay.
Okay, I see. So since we don't have any questions, so you may start writing now.
Okay. Okay, I finished.
Okay, so let's have the task right here. In this case, let me see first how many number of words we are able to have. Okay. Okay, in this case here, you're actually able to have about 292
Mm,
words for these task two right here. And then when it comes to the time, okay, let's just see, you're actually able to finish this one within, okay, let's have 292, and this is within, okay, 23 minutes and 50
mm,
seconds. So that's
mm,
how you were able to finish the introduction down to the last one. Let me just indicate 23 minutes and 50 seconds. So let's begin with the introduction right here. So given that this one is about agree or disagree. So it means we have to choose whether we completely agree or we completely disagree. So based on these things you've presented right here, I totally agree with this view. Okay, so it seems like in this case you totally agree with what is presented. So let's begin first with the sentence structure. Let's just say in modern society, many people believe that the working week should be shorter and that workers should have longer weekend. I totally agree with this view since it can improve employees' health, well-being, and effectiveness. Okay, so in this case, just few things that I have, especially with our sentence structure. Let's say to begin with, the first one is the parallel structure. So since we have the working week should be shorter and that workers should have a longer weekend, so the two clauses here is joined by the conjunction and. So we should maintain parallel grammatical structure and semantic balance. So we have that plus the subject plus the modal plus the verb phrase. So you can say, okay, that the working week should be shorter and that workers should have longer weekends. Okay, so this would be for this case right here. And then another thing here is totally agree. Okay, this one it would be fine. And then we have, okay, conjunction. In this case here, if ever we have the conjunction since or the ambiguity of subordinating conjunction. So if ever we have conjunction since, it can express time like from a point plus like because in this case here, it may mean because or from the time when. So probably to avoid ambiguity in this case, we can use the casual connectors, which would be okay because the usual because or aside from because, you can also have okay, let's just say right here because other choice it would be as or you can also have due to the fact that. So this could be the other or alternatives you can use for because instead of using since right there. And then another thing, so since we are listing more than two and we have here the end, let's insert a comma. So an Oxford comma. And then in this case here with the collocation, given with the word effectiveness. In workplace context, actually, the word productivity collocates more naturally with employees. So you can say workplace productivity, you can have labor productivity or employee productivity. But effectiveness, it's not incorrect. It's just that it's somehow less precise. So probably with effectiveness, let's just use with productivity. Okay,
Mm.
so this one would be in this case. And overall, when it comes to your sentence here, it actually already demonstrates complex sentence structure. You're also able to use correct model usage, correct noun phrase at some point. So that would be for the grammar structures we have when it comes to your introduction part. However, if we are going to focus with the content of our introduction, yes, you correctly address the task prompt, but given with the, okay, you clearly state your opinion. I totally agree. So, yes, this is good, essential. And then with the paraphrasing of the topic, actually paraphrasing, it's correct. However, it's closely structured with the task prompt right here. So, probably when it comes to paraphrasing, we should try to somehow make use of some words like an alternative instead of just copying this one. It's because if you're going to just use this statement here and insert it in the introduction, so that would not be considered already a paraphrasing, since paraphrasing could help us boost our lexical flexibility because it will be used to show how, let's just say, natural or flexible we are when using the English language. And then also maybe, okay, let's say if given with your introduction, shorter working weeks, okay, maybe we can say many people believe that working. Okay, so what do you think would be the possible paraphrase form of the statement aside from what we have right here?
Mm. No question.
Mm-hmm.
No questions.
Okay, no questions. Thank you. So in this case here, given with the statement, maybe a possible introduction you have in modern society. Okay, instead of stating with working week, and then we have here longer weekends, just directly having it that way, you can possibly also say, let's have in
Mm.
modern society, there is a growing trend, trend, growing trend or growing belief. Let's have the word belief that the standard working week should be shorter, or instead of shorter, you can have
Mm.
reduced, and that employees should enjoy longer weekends, or instead of longer weekends, you can have extended weekends. And then aside from that, let's just stick with your idea. Agree with I totally agree with this view because okay, it can improve. It can improve employees health, well-being, and then productivity. Or given with the word well-being alone, maybe you can insert the word overall. Overall well-being would refer to somehow mental health, physical health at some point. So Yes, in this case here, this could be a possible revised version we have based on the idea presented with your introduction. So, as you've noticed with this version, we try to make use of a different word or probably a synonym to paraphrase the statement given right there so that it will not really look alike with the given task prompt. Since in that case, if ever we're just going to stick with what is presented in the prompt, so it will not showcase our ability in paraphrasing. It seems like we are just copying with whatever we have right there. So probably we can try to practice or we can try to somehow make use of paraphrasing whenever you're going to have your introduction. But yeah, these are just the things we have for the introduction. So questions for this one, Sharon?
Mm. Can you explain again why can I use things?
Oh, why you can't use since?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case here, we cannot use since. It's because if we're going to stick with that word, it would actually seems like, or it will have two different function. It would like used to give a reason, or it can be used to talk about time. So for us to avoid ambiguity, so that's why the word because, as, or due to the fact that would give us the clear intention we have right here.
Okay. But
Okay.
the things also can uh can mean because.
Yes, it could also
Uh,
mean because, or it could also mean about the time, something like that.
okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I see. So yeah, in that case, then, since we don't have questions in, unfortunately, we don't have much time. So it means on our next session with your writing, let's just continue checking body one down to your conclusion. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I see. So I guess these are just the things that we have for tonight, Sharon. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.